Hey friends, it's me Lisa and I'm back with another review. But before I get started, I'd like to say Happy Valentine's Day to you, and to you! So this is going to be a two-part series. Today I'm going to be doing my 5 favorite romantic films of all time. And tomorrow, to celebrate Black History Month, I'm going to be doing my 5 favorite romantic Black History films of all time. So I feel crazy putting this next movie in the number 5 spot, but there's so many movies that I absolutely love, so I decided based on that this is number 5. So my number 5 choice for my romantic movies is Pretty Woman. I absolutely love Pretty Woman. If you haven't seen Pretty Woman, I don't know where you've been. You gotta watch it. You gotta see it. I think Amazon Prime may have it. I think Netflix may have it. Either way, find it. I think you can even get it on YouTube, so watch it. Well, Pretty Woman stars Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, and if you're gonna watch this list today, you're gonna see that unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, I should probably say not my 5 most romantic films ever. I should say my favorite Julia Roberts romantic films, because Julia Roberts is on this list quite a bit, okay? I'm just gonna tell you that from the beginning, because she did a lot of romantic comedies, and I love her films, so what can I say? Anyway, in Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts' character, her name is Vivian. She is a prostitute, okay? Anyway, so she's a prostitute and she's living her life, and hey, listen, I'm not judging, the bills gotta get paid, okay? And she's trying to pay her bills and, you know, whatnot. And so her and her friends are basically, you know, trying to pay the bills, and her friend decides to let her take this John. And unfortunately, I think her friend later on regrets letting her take this John, because this John happens to be Edward, I believe his name, Richard Gere's character. Is his name Edward? I'm sorry if his name's not Edward. I'm pretty sure it's Edward, but maybe it's not. Anyway, regardless, Richard Gere's character is this really cool, handsome businessman, and he decides that he would like to needs a girlfriend for a weekend. So he ends up asking Vivian to be his weekend girlfriend. And what happens is they actually end up falling in love, which is, you know, Hollywood for you, you know. And it's a really good story. If you haven't seen it, it is absolutely amazing. It's your typical rags to riches story, again with a twist. But, you know, Pretty Woman is an amazing film. I don't know many people that could say they don't like this film. One of my favorite things about Pretty Woman is, I think the best scene is she goes to go shopping. And the first time she goes shopping, she kind of dresses up kind of like, I guess with somebody that's a streetwalker or somebody that can afford certain things. So she goes into a store and they refuse to serve her. After she gets involved with her business guy, he decides to give her like a credit card so she could go shopping and do whatever she wants. So he says to her, like, what happened? Like, why didn't you get clothes? And she explains to him that basically she went to the stores and they were kind of, you know, prejudiced against her. So next time he goes with her and he tells them, you know, make sure she gets whatever she wants. And then later on, she decides to go back to the stores where they were kind of discriminating against her. And she says, big mistake, big mistake. All right, so now my number 4 pick. I did promise you it's going to be a lot of Julia Roberts on this. So for my number 4 pick, it's Notting Hill. If you haven't seen this, guys, you got to see this. It's such a romantic comedy. I love it. This stars Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. And Hugh Grant, I love him because, you know, no matter what he does, although, you know, I think sometimes he could drop the accent, he always uses his, I mean, well, he is British, so he always has his British accent in every film, but it works for him, you know. Some people, like, you know, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, like, hello, you're paying an American, like, get rid of the accent, at least try. But Hugh Grant, it works for him, you know. He always has films where no matter what, he could, you know, do his British accent, and that's his thing. I mean, he doesn't have to get rid of his British accent in any of his films because, you know, a lot of time he plays the British, and then other times when he does do these other films, it just works. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that 2 cents into it for I don't know what reason, but I decided just because, yeah. Anyway, in this movie, Notting Hill, it stars, like I said, Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant, and I love this film, of course. In this film, Julia Roberts plays this big star named, she's a big star in this film, and she basically is, you know, going for a walk one day, and she bumps into a guy that works in a bookstore, and he accidentally spills orange juice on them, and on her. Sorry, them accidentally spills orange juice on her, and then as a result of that, they start this big romance. So the issue is that she's a movie star named Anna Scott, and she's the biggest movie star in the world, and of course, anything she does, everybody wants to know. So they find out that she's in love with this man that's a bookstore owner, and their romance kind of progresses from there. And I think the biggest thing in this film is just that, you know, because they're from two different worlds, everybody is so shocked. Like, you know, how does she fall in love with somebody that works in a bookstore? And then, you know, and they think that how does this guy that works in a bookstore thinks he's good enough for this movie star? So again, I think like my last film where people sometimes judge by characters, you never know, because I think it's really cute that, you know, they kind of fell in love, you know. Yeah, she's this big star, but you know, she sees him, this guy that works in the bookstore, and they fall in love. So it's a good film. Definitely watch Notting Hill. Notting Hill. Anyway, that's my number 4 pick. Okay, so for my number 3 pick, I had to pick Love Actually. And no pun intended, but it is called Love Actually. Anyway, this is a really good film, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely should see it. This is a really lovely film, and it has like I think what I like, I can't remember what the style is called, but it's a style where they're like, you know, there's more than one story going on at once. So there's multiple characters and there are multiple, you know, love stories going on at once, which is really cool. I think it's called Dogma. No, I'm sorry, that's not the right thing. Sorry. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it's multiple stories about multiple people, and they're basically all trying to find love, and they do different things in terms of their love life. And basically at the end of the story, their paths all meet and they all come together as one. This film is really cool. It's cute. It's romantic. It's, you know, the type of tearjerker film you want to watch with your girlfriends on Valentine's Day. So definitely watch it. It's called Love Actually, and it stars Hugh Grant again, Emma Thompson, and so many other stars that I just can't remember all their names to list. But definitely watch it. It's called Love Actually. So that's number 3. So number 2, another Julia Roberts film again. Oh, that girl again. Yes, I love Julia Roberts. So number 2 is My Best Friend's Wedding, starring Julia Roberts, Dermot Mulroney, and Cameron Diaz. If you haven't seen this, guys, you guys really gotta see this. I love this film. My Best Friend's Wedding is, I guess you would say, your typical romantic comedy, sort of. Anyway, so Julia Roberts' character, she gets an invitation that her best friend is getting married, which should be easy enough. Great, you know, my best friend's getting married. I'm gonna go to the wedding and have fun, drink and dance and have a good time. But unfortunately, it's not like that, because she used to date her best friend back in the day, and they were friends, and, you know, they decided they're gonna be friends, I guess, and they decided, you know, let's see, you know, we're better as off as friends, you know, one of those situations, I guess. But then she gets the invitation that her best friend is getting married, and this makes her go crazy because she realizes that she's still in love with her best friend. So what does she do? She goes to the wedding, or before the wedding, you know, when everybody's arriving, with the intention of telling her best friend that she is madly in love with him and she wants him back. However, every single time she gets an opportunity to try to do this, something happens, something interrupts her, or she loses the nerve. So definitely you gotta see this film, guys. It's absolutely amazing. I love My Best Friend's Wedding. It stars Julia Roberts, Dermot Mulroney, and Cameron Diaz. But what's really good about this film is that I think it's actually, besides being a really funny film to watch, I think what's really interesting about this film is that there is opportunities where I feel like if she had said something to the best friend, that at that point he would have probably said that he still loves her too. But I think this is a movie in terms of what I would call missed opportunities. So sometimes if you know you have feelings for a person and they like you back, or you think they like you back, you gotta act on it quickly, because sometimes the opportunity you'll lose the opportunity. Anyway, you should see definitely My Best Friend's Wedding, which again, Julia Roberts, Cameron Diaz, and Dermot Mulroney. So that's number 2. Okay, you know what? Julia Roberts, you should really give me a sponsorship or something, because you know what? Like, honestly, I just might as well, like I said, change this to the Julia Roberts, you know, favorite romantic comedies, because all the movies except for, like, I think one you're in, and here I'm promoting your movies. I mean, not that you need my help, because, you know, hey girl, your movies are good, you're good. Anyway, my number 1 favorite romantic comedy that Julia Roberts did, might as well call it that, is Runaway Bride, which also stars Richard Gere. I just love Richard Gere and Julia Roberts together. They just have such good chemistry. And I think they should do another movie together. I think, you know, they did Pretty Woman and they did Runaway Bride. I can't remember if there's another film that they're in, but they should definitely do another one because they are magic on the screen together. Anyway, so in this film, Runaway Bride, we see Julia Roberts' character again. She's basically a wonderful woman that tends to always get engaged but never gets married. So I don't know if it's cold feet or she just hasn't found the right guy, but every single time she's supposed to marry the guy, she gets to the altar and she kind of, to be honest with you, it's not really nice what she does, but I mean, it's nice watching it in a movie, but you know, in real life it would be really sucky. But anyway, so she gets up to the altar and she's supposed to get married, and then every single time she's supposed to get married, she runs and she leaves the guy at the altar, and she's done this multiple times. Anyway, so Richard Gere's character, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now, but you're gonna see the movie, so you'll see it. Whatever. His character basically, excuse me, he learns about her running around and this whole story about this woman that does this runaway bride business. And he wants to go and talk about this woman that always leaves the grooms at the altar. Like, what's her issue? Why is she doing this? You know, like, why, you know? So he goes there and does an investigation. And of course, because it's Hollywood, he falls in love with her too. And he thinks, okay, basically, well, maybe there is a problem with all those other guys and I'm just, you know, there's something wrong with them. But so he falls in love with her and ta-da, what does she do? She does the same to him. But finally, she is able to, and I'm sorry, I think I'm ruining the film for you. I shouldn't have said everything about this film. Anyway, finally, she's able to commit to him and marry him. So yeah, that is my 5 favorite romantic films. And so I hope you enjoy it and enjoy my list, and comment below, let me know if you agree with some of these films that I like to watch. I guess I could have done excuse me for the coughing, I could have done Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know. There was, yeah, okay. You know, and there were some other ones I could have done as well, you know, but I mean, these are mine that I like, so whatever. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you liked what you've seen and if you like what you heard. Bye. Notable mentions could be Officer and a Gentleman, Sleepless in Seattle, and of course, another Julia Roberts film, American Sweethearts. But hey, noticeable. Ciao.